Yeah, what's going on, guys? Optical 20 here for another live stream. Well, thank you for joining me. If you are listening to this, uh, you know, on replay, it's a lot of news, man. Since I've been online. Yeah, as you know from the title, if you can see it here, I dove in. Yep, you got it. I went the Star Wars way, and we'll talk about that later. Let's see here. Oh, Jack, is it buffer? Oh, you said buffering. I guess that is a just a logo that you guys have. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's because I'm looking at StreamYard and it's just buffering. Mario, what's up, man? What is going on? Yeah, you know what? It's a good thing that I decided to do it today. I forgot that auction is gonna be on tomorrow, and it's a good idea that I did it today. One of us. I thought you were talking about the game. Hey, comics, what's going on, man? Jack, what is up? But before we dive into my experience, I'm sure there's a few who wanted to know how I felt about this new venture that I'm going into. Um, yeah, there's some pretty interesting things. Well, I was going to talk about this last week, but I never had the chance. It's uh it's fun to do like be engaged on the chat, but kind of like sidetrack a little bit. But hey, comics, we'll get there, man. We'll get there. What's up, Danny? Man, Midas. So speaking of Mandalorian, this who is that? Is that Mario who said that this could be a stand-up for a C3PO? I didn't even know they made C3PO for a 1/6 but sideshow. Do you guys have that? Is that a good alternate for Hot Toys? I don't know, but this could be I guess a stand-up on that. Man, this looks good though. This looks good. I don't know if I'm gonna get this. I want to get this, but it's 400 something, so I don't know. But I like it. You know what? I was gonna say. Mars says, "Let's hear about the Mando talk." Um, I can tell you this, Mario. Um, I know now that is not Lando. But yeah, Mario, I think I heard that from you or from Collecting Weekly. You said that this could be a good stand-up place for C3PO. I guess we're just trying to convince ourselves here because it's such a cool looking armor. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when this is released. If there's not anything on the horizon by the time this gets released, but I'm assuming this would be released pretty soon because I mean it's the same mold. They just gotta do the painting a bit different. So I mean it's die cast. It's pretty cool. It's 405 though, but it's nice. E- Everyone's wanted me to talk about Mando, man. Not everyone's like online yet, so we gotta wait for those guys. Every time that I log in, it takes like 30 minutes before anyone gets in. So I might as most of my like the listeners in the live stream Filipino because we got this thing called Filipino time, meaning you're always late. So that's how I feel every time that, and I'm pretty early today. Typically, when I say 8:30, I might log in at 8:35 or 8:40. So it's a special occasion, man. I actually watch Star Wars. What's up, Ninja? I actually watched Star Wars for, I wouldn't say for a long time because I did watch what was that? The Last Skywalker or something. I know not all of you guys like that movie, but I watched it. I didn't find it to be all that bad. Um, find it quite entertaining, to be quite honest with you. But at the same time, I wasn't really that engaged. It's okay. It's okay. I had nothing bad to say about it. But then again, I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan, so maybe that's why. But yeah, man, this Midas looks good, man. The stand, does it even light up? Because they've been cheaping on us with this light up functionality too. Thai guy says Thai. The same with Thai people. You schedule something at 6 p.m. Everyone shows up an hour later. Yeah, Thai man. Filipino time. That we call it that time. It's like, man, so that's for in that sense, if you have like a special gathering at 6, it has to be really at 6:30 or even 7, like you said. There you go, Danny. It's Asia time. I guess that's how we are Asians in general. We're just always late. And it's not even that we are, I guess we're so just accustomed to it that not knowingly we just do it. And like I schedule my stream, for example, for 8:30. You can see it. Like right now, there's no one here. At around the hour mark, like last time there was like 40 people. But I was just like, I'm about to log out though. I can't do this, for forever. But whatever, man. It is what it is. And dude, Star Ace, Lord of the Rings. Look at this guy. And it's an odd scale too. I did review the first Aragorn that they released. It was not bad. Honestly, the scale is, I think it's 1/8. It's not a bad scale. It's just that we got so used to one, at least I got so used to 1/6 that it looks odd. But 1/8 is not too bad. It's in between an action figure, which is typically 1/12, and below a Barbie doll, which is 1/6. The thing is, if you're gonna go with this scale, man, you gotta kill it. Like Enterbay killed it with their 1/9. Star Ace, decent. I mean, this is better than their first release though, and the base is pretty awesome, I would say though. I'm gonna say though, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and while I was watching Mandalorian, kind of reminded me of Lord of the Rings, some plots. So Mario says, I thought being late was exclusive to MST, Mexican Standard Time. Mario, though, I would say that Mexicans and Filipinos share the same. Man, Mexican uses pesos, same as Philippines. So we share the same, I guess, culture when it comes to that sense. So Ninja says, oh, that face is nowhere near. Yeah, that's Star Ace for you, man. Jack says, I might be getting the Hot Toys Deluxe Luke Skywalker tomorrow. Jack, is that the older Luke Skywalker, the one that you're talking about? Ninja says, I agree. Very nice base, One Ring to rule them all. And it does light up. That is the beauty of it. I mean, I got to give it to the base. It's nice. The face, not too much. However, on Asmus, it's not like they nailed it either. So I guess it's just really hard to nail the face of this, Viggo Mortensen, or however you say his name. But this shot, I can kind of see it. The base is really awesome, man. I just kind of want to get it just for the base itself because it does light up too. That is beautiful. Jack says Return of the Jedi. Okay, that's a good figure, Jack. That is really nice. Negan says, what are your thoughts on Jaime Lannister figure by 3-0? Man, it looks good, Negan. I might even get that. I'm thinking of getting that because Jaime's a good character. I currently just have Jon Snow, and I feel like he's getting lonely in there. I was tempted to get Tyrion, but he was expensive. So if he was like around 120, I probably would have snagged it. But I don't know. But yeah, look at the base. It's light up. Even without the lights, it still looks pretty good. So Mari says Jedi Deluxe Luke is a great set. Congrats, Jack. Yep, that is a beautiful set, man. I have that. I think I have like 3 Luke Skywalkers. For somebody who doesn't even like Star Wars that much, I have a lot. So I don't know why. I mean, they're so cool though. Like this Star Wars figures are so cool. Nice pose, I give that to them. This shot, like on the side, I can kind of see it. It's nice that it's rooted here too, so it's a plus. I guess the deluxe version is the only one that comes with a base. Tailoring is quite good. So, and then the non-deluxe, here's the problem though. The deluxe is almost $200. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth $200 for a 1/9. I don't know. This one I did have, but not this face. I must say though, like everything about this guy is good, but the face, at least the first version, this one's they still didn't nail it. But at least it has a rooted hair, and it's somewhat a bit closer. At least it has some, definition and details on the face. The last head sculpt that I got almost has nothing. But yeah, this is exactly what it comes with. The first version that I do have, it's upstairs. Um, I don't know, man. Like if this 1/9 or 1/8, if the head sculpt was good, this is nice because it doesn't take too much space. It's kind of small. You can put a whole lot in, let's say, in a one shelf of Detolf, you can put a lot. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, although it will be hard for all of us right now to transition to this size because of how many do we have. Nebula looks good. I had this on pre-order. Again, my pre-order is determined because it's on Big Bad Toy Store. It all determines on when it's gonna be released. If it gets released on the time that I bought way too many, then I'll probably hold off to it. This is one of those figures where it looks good, but I also don't mind not having it. It's one of those things where I feel like if you miss out on this, you still have a chance on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Is this the one that's supposed to be orange? This part right here? I think so. That's kind of odd that they never made it to the cut. Yeah, I think it's this part, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it this one? I think it's this. Yeah, come on, guys. Orange. I bet you this was supposed to be for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but they're so late that it just made it to Endgame. I don't know how many. I mean, it looks good, man. The head sculpt is fantastic. This should have been a double jointed elbows. I mean, Alita did it, so it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. Ninja Assistant, a nice tailoring on the Ranger outfit, needs long pipe and hood for first meet with Frodo. That's true. When he was Strider. Yeah, I mean, I think they could have gotten away with a double jointed here. Oh, and Asmus, by the way, this is coming out of nowhere. They said that they want to do some diorama. This is, I think, I forgot the name of the place. Man. I love Lord of the Rings. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not too good with specifics. The Tomb of Moria, I believe. So they not announced it, but I think they're kind of testing the waters with on Sideshow Freaks. And they said that would collectors like this? It's $400 though, so we were like, I don't know. So I commented on that, so it's like, yeah, for $400. Yeah, I mean, they said that it's gonna be heavy. It's made out of resin. I get that, but it's square. It has no details. I mean, unless you're gonna insert Gimli in there, which Gimli itself is $200. But if you're just gonna give us the tomb with this, I don't, skeleton or whatever and some paper, I mean, that's not $400. That's barely $150. So they're crazy. Yeah, exactly, Danny. Damn, 400. I mean, they're out of their minds, man. Asmus has been slipping lately, man. I mean, I can't wait to get their Aragorn. Don't get me wrong, but after that, I don't know. Robert, hey man, I did it just for you because I know you sleep early, man. Even though it's Friday and it's tomorrow Saturday, most likely people doesn't have work. Not all of us, but some people doesn't have work on weekends. So still, better come with a cave troll for 400. Exactly, Danny. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, this is not worth $400. I mean, I don't know how they want to spin it, whether it's made out of resin, cement, or whatever the case may be. Juggernaut Jones, what's going on, man? Hot Toys Bounty Hunters from Empire would be nice. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, speaking of Mando, I think this is 1/6 scale. This looks good, man. Look, Hot Toys, man. There's already 3 Mandos of 1/6 right now, unless this is the same Mando. I don't know. Are you guys gonna get this? Danny, Mario, I know you guys are like hardcore. Ninja has a Mando. I think that's Mando. It's too small, Ninja, so I can't tell. But I don't have room for vehicles, so yeah. I don't know about this, but it looks good though. It looks good. I mean, the child. I think this is not the quarter scale, but the life-size child one. I would say this though. So I watched Mando the past few days. So I've seen the Mando 1-to-1. I mean, not Mando, the child from Sideshow and Hot Toys. A lot of people are saying it's pinkish on Sideshow, like there's pink on the cheeks and the mouth and the nose, which true, it is. So I was watching the show and I was paying close attention. There is pink spots on, well, actually, there's a lot of pink spots on the child. They're not that prominent though. And you can say, oh, it's because of the light. Well, there was never on the show that there was never a light where it showed that it's that pink. So maybe they should have toned it down a tad bit. Although it still doesn't look bad. I would say that it still doesn't look bad, even though it's pinkish on the cheeks and the face. For me, at least for now, it still looks better than the Hot Toys version. Would I get it? No. But it looks better, I would say. Man, this is good. This looks good. I mean, okay, so the swoop bike is available separate. Can't justify another Beskar Mando, but I'll find an excuse. Hey, man. Yeah, Mario, I know what you mean. Oh, the child looks... this is the quarter scale. Okay, so... I mean, it looks like it's more detailed because the child has actual fabric that he is wearing. So that's cool. And this is the... the ear seams doesn't really bother me all that much. I mean, actually, it's not that bad. You know, it's not that bad as I thought it would be. Like, even with the ear seams, I don't think it looks terrible at all. So this is the quarter scale, which is $180. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, Yoda is $180. So I don't get the pricing of these guys because he's $180. And the quarter scale Mando is $500 without the base. So that means if you take this out, the quarter scale Mando is only $370. I mean, that's a good price for a quarter scale without base, though. But that's pretty good price. That's even less than Iron Man. I don't know why this is $170. I mean, I'm sure somebody, there's a market for this guy, but I think it's a little too much for $170. Hey, OMG, what's going on? Okay, Ninja says it's Boba. Robert says might pick up that Venom. It would look good with a Toys ear Eddie Brock. Yep, exactly, Robert. We'll get to Venom. Danny says I don't know. I can't have every single Mando. Might cancel version 2 Mando for this third version. Yeah, man. I mean, the problem with the Mando is they put it out in succession, so people doesn't have, I guess, sometimes if they release one, the pre-order one, but if they announce it all at once, some people doesn't even have the first Mando yet, and they already have like 3, and we're in season 2, just started. So yeah, I don't know. Even the hardcore fans of Mandalorian, I don't know if you can justify so many versions of that Beskar version, So Negan says I have a feeling they're going to saturate the market with everything Mando. Yep, Negan, pretty much. You are correct. And if you ask me, that's a good business move because it's really hot right now. Smart. That's a smart move. Mario says the baby looks good, but damn that price. Better off getting the set with Mando. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, for $170 after taxes and whatnot, this would be $200. Just get the set, and Mando would come out to $370 at that point, which is kind of like a price of $160 because that mech test Iron Man is $305, I think, or $315, something like that. And you got the Mando, which bigger and more stuff. So OMG says I am going with the OG Mando and the quarter deluxe. That's a good combo. That is a combo. That's a good combo right there, OG. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, but if you're just going to take this out and put it on your desk, let's say you don't have any intentions of getting Mandalorian because you can't. Let's say money is an issue. If money is an issue, just don't buy this guy. Just get those cute ones from Big Bad Toy Store, the one that has animatronics or whatever. That's just, that's what I would do. Because I don't know, for $170, I just feel like it's too much. BMW just got here. Are you full of Mando yet, Optical? Man, we're going to get there, man. I'll tell you how I felt after watching it. Robert says, is Boba Fett really alive? I haven't seen the show yet. And Mario says nothing confirmed. I was gonna ask you guys about that too, but you know, we'll talk about that later, I suppose. Man, I feel like I feel like I can be a guest at Rogue One 6 now. No, I can't be. They're gonna destroy me out there. Oh, well, I made it smaller. Okay. Okay, so I mean, it looks good. It has two faces. You know what? I don't even mind the teeth because I was watching the show and I saw some instances where I saw his teeth. So I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. I think this one has just the right amount of pink things in his eyes and cheeks and nose. It looks cute. You know, like this one, it's still fine. You know, the one like the sideshow looks kind of a bit more excessive in my opinion. It's still okay though. It shouldn't deter you from buying it. I'm just saying it's a bit more excessive than it should have been. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is what you're getting for 170 for the most part. Just for I guess it's 3.5 inches tall. So that's that for one almost $200. Yeah, that would be a no for me. This is the deluxe version. PJ's not gonna like this because I said I think of my initial reaction to this is that if I'd rather get this honestly than the sideshow version, the one that is walking like Conor McGregor, you know, like the power walk. Yeah, I mean this looks lifelike compared to that, and that is $700, and this is only $30 more, and you can do so many poses with this. I mean, the base itself looks like a premium format. Danny has a bunch of premium format now, so he can relate. I mean, if you just want a something that you can display, I mean, this is beautiful. I know a lot of people are saying this is a mismatch, you know, just a bunch of stuff just put in together, and that might be the case. Whatever, it looks still looks cool in my opinion, though. I mean, if I was gonna, which I'm not, which if I was gonna buy this, I would go for the deluxe just because of the base and it looks cool, and you know, but I'm not gonna buy it, so just because it's too big. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Negan says, if money is an issue, you shouldn't be in this hobby. True. But Negan, I would say, though, I pick and choose where I spend my money too. So Robert says, I love to see Boba again. J-Rod, what's up, J-Rod? Danny says, I'm not getting into the child collectibles unless it's included in the Mando 1/6 set. Fair. That's fair, Danny. I don't even have a child anything yet. Would I get one? Maybe. Well, if Boba Fett is alive, get ready for Hot Toys to go super duper crazy. If he is, I still have my what do you call that? The one with the Sarlacc pit, Boba Fett, the deluxe version back then. So that might go up in price. Who knows? What is the timeline for Mandalorian anyway? Is it in between 6 and 7? From what I heard. So if correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, if it's between 6 and 7, that means my Boba Fett is kind of current then. Mari says, I like the base. Danny, I can't relate for quarter scale Hot Toys. I'm sticking to 1/6 only, quarter scale for statues only. I don't blame you, Danny. I mean, I feel like it's too big, right? Because I held that Joker, and yeah, it's kind of too big. But it can kneel though. Can you guys tell me if the Mandalorian 1/6 can do this pose? Because I obviously don't have that. But because I heard like there's fat suit inside, there's limited articulation, but from what I've seen on the pictures, it looks like it could articulate pretty well. So I don't know. Danny says 5 or 10 years after Return of the Jedi. Mario says a few years after Episode 6, I believe. Okay, all right, yeah, because from what I heard, kind of like that is okay. So Jack says 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so it's before this Disney things. Okay. OMG says, am I the only one that thinks the armor of the quarter scale looks a little more plastic than the 6th? No, you're not the only one. OMG C89. It does, now that you mention it. Maybe because it's bigger. so we can see more details. That's why we can really verify that it's plastic. But it looks like they removed the fat suit because, I mean, can you even do this pose? I don't know. Uh, okay, so we're getting there. So we got Venom now. Finally, we've been asking for a Venom for a long time now, and we finally got a Venomized Venom. And the reactions, because I created a video of this, it was a mixed reaction there. Me myself is kind of mixed on this. I like Venom. I'm not crazy about Venom. I do like Spider-Man though. Um, so I feel like I gotta get him. Because I, I, I don't. You guys might disagree with this. This might not be a popular opinion, but I enjoyed the movie. Um, I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't the best movie that I've seen, but I don't mind getting a figure from that movie. With that being said, um, the practical side of me kicks in whenever I see this. That's why I said on the video, when I created that video, I don't know the price yet. Um, and then the price came out because I said I'm kind of comparing this to Thanos. Infinity War Thanos was what, like 385? It has two head sculpts and decent amount of accessories. It has a light of functionality and all that stuff. I can make an argument that that's maybe a bit more intricate to do, at least the head sculpt, because you actually have like a person looking like a person on that sculpt. This one is more of a creature, so to speak, and you can mess up here and there, and people wouldn't notice. Like unlike in Thanos, if you mess it up, people would know that you did mess up. This one you can mess up like on the number of teeth, maybe the eyes. It's not as people can forgive you basically. It looks good. I'm assuming those are rubber joints. I mean, rubber arms, legs. Looks like it has a lot of detail. One commenter said it looks like a Marvel Legends, a bigger Marvel Legends. I wouldn't go that far because there's a lot of details in it, but I see his argument because it doesn't have any head sculpt and it's more expensive than Thanos, which doesn't mean anything, but you kind of have to gauge it at some point. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys, what do you guys feel about this figure? This is one of those things where it depends, kind of like Nebula for me. When it comes out, if I have the money, maybe I'll do it. Or maybe this is something that would sit around and I'll catch it on sale or something. Do I want to have a Venom in my collection? Yeah, I do. I really do. Do I want to pay $400 for this? No, I don't. I'd rather this be one of those free shipping with $50 off. This would be a bit more easier to swallow, I guess, if this was $350. And I get it, this would be more expensive because it's bigger. It comes with a lot more things in it. But at the same time, like I'm gauging it towards Thanos. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the practical side of me comes in when it comes to these kind of, like if you're not super in love with a figure, you kind of just want to have it. The practical side of me just kicks in. I'm like, all right, so what is the equivalent of this to something that as a must have for me? Because at that time, like even now, like a Thanos was a must have for me. Love the movie. The portrayal was really good, so I gotta have that Thanos regardless. Well, I wouldn't say regardless of the amount, but I'm willing to go through the lengths of that because I saw the head sculpt. It looks amazing. This one, yeah, I mean, it looks good. I want to have one. I'll probably end up with one at some point. I probably would. This is not one of those day ones for me. This is one of those things where I play it by ear, and if I don't get it, I don't get it. There's probably going to be a Venom 2, and I'll try it at that point. Although I would say I don't think this is gonna sell out. Honestly, everyone is all about Star Wars right now, and this came out of nowhere. The Venom movie has been out for what, 2-3 years now. I mean, a lot of people are still clamoring for villains, especially for Spider-Man. So I'm sure there's a huge market for this as well. But at that price point, I think we can have this for a deal if we just wait. I think so. All right, I go back here. Yeah, Danny says too deep in the 1/6, cannot jump to 1/4. Plus, they only make one popular character only. That's true. You can't really build anything to 1/4, Danny. Austin, what's going on, Austin? Where's Mark 85, Mark 1? Uh, Next year, I'm guessing 85, man. I don't know. J-Rod, Venom is a buy for me, even with 405 price tag. We'll probably build up rewards to get him. I can see that argument too, Jared. I want him, man. I want him. Like I said, I'm probably gonna gauge it when it comes out. We're, depending on if a figure was released before him or after him, or maybe I haven't bought anything. So, it'll be easier for me to pay for that. Thigh, is Venom bigger than Thanos? I know he's smaller than the Gladiator Hulk. I think so, because Thanos is around 18 inches. No, maybe it's smaller, Thigh Guy, because he is around 15. So I would say smaller. This Venom looks pretty cool, according to Danny. Austin says, where's more endgame figures? Ninjas is third-party Doc Ock versus classic Spider-Man for me, the best display option on look. Yep, I agree. We need a classic Spider-Man, though. We need one. I don't care if it's third party, as long as it's done right. Austin says it does look like a Marvel Legend. Mario says, curious how Venom body will hold up over time. Yep, that's one of the concerns too, Mario. And there's a lot of details in it, like veins and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of scary if you're dropping 405 on something that might not even last too long. Erwin says, you could have Mark 7 with Venomized Iron Man and Venom altogether. I said it would be cool. Dustin, what's going on, Dustin? For the cost of Venom, they should include an Eddie Brock figure as set together. I think it's gonna jump to 500. Although I would say this, Dustin, they should have included like the Eddie Brock transitioning head sculpt. That would have been even though not a full blown Tom Hardy head sculpt, like the one where it's half. I mean, it's 405, so you can even go as far as saying that's an exclusive. No, you shouldn't put that in exclusive. That's too big. Danny says Venom 2 might have the spider chest emblem. True. That's another point of topic there. I mentioned that on the video, and I told Weiss, I believe his name, he's like, he's gonna wait for that. The thing is, if you are a big fan of Venom, like huge fan. I'm not, but I know, like, say J-Rod is, perhaps. I mean, if you wait for Venom 2, you're looking at 4 years. I mean, can you really wait 4 years for that, man? That is some sort of a wait there. Dreamonics, what's going on, man? Expensive because they heard the fan demand for it. True, Dreamon. I don't know if maybe the fans are clamoring for Venom, but I think it's mostly frustration as well, because all we see is Venomized whatever, that there's no Venom. But I think half of those people, or maybe a good chunk of that, won't even buy a Venom. They're just trying to be smart, like a smart ass or so. Austin said, why are Hot Toys once again all over the map? Or is the end game figures? I don't know, Austin. Yeah, it'll come out when it comes out. J-Rod, I would love a Carnage Hot Toy. VGM line has classic Spidey. Oh yeah, true, Danny. Classic Spidey. I maybe I got it wrong. I was referring more on the Spider-Man 2. Man, I would love to see that. Mario, surprised VGM Classic Spidey hasn't dropped on pre-order yet. That's true. They announced it like a while back, like in the Sideshow Con, I believe. And BMW says Hot Toys did show PS4 Spider-Man Classic suit at Summer Sideshow Con. That should go on pre-order sometime soon. That is true. All righty. So I think that is all the news that we have. Not a whole lot of things going on. But, okay. So, Mandalorian, man. So I watched it. I liked it. Let's just say when I watched it, I'm not going back and buy any Hot Toys Star Wars figure anytime soon. However, now I'm gonna buy a Mandalorian. Okay, here's what I would say about the Mandalorian, though. It is different than other Star Wars. So I know there's a few here that are non-Star Wars fans. Maybe that's why you tune into my channel. Maybe because you're just tired of people talking about Star Wars. And don't worry, I'm not gonna exclusively talk about Star Wars, because I'm still like an idiot when it comes to Star Wars. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. For two reasons. Maybe I just don't want to know about it. That's partly true. But Um, I am gonna watch this Mandalorian, man. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna watch it. I already watched all of them. So, man, here's what I would say with this Mandalorian, though. I watched the first episode. I said this before. One thing I didn't like about Star Wars is that it wasn't badass for me. Like Luke Skywalker just wasn't badass enough. He was just he, he was just like a Boy Scout to me. But boy, the first 5 minutes of Mandalorian, it's like John Wick. He was in a bar and he kicked ass. He did it again on he did it again on season 2, first episode. So Mandalorian is like the John Wick of, I guess, sci-fi. And I love John Wick. I love those kind of things where it's um J Rod says, not gonna lie, I'm tired of Star Wars hot toys talk. J Rod, hey man, I'm telling you, I was like back then I was listening to Rogue One 6 because PJ was there. When PJ was there all the time, I was listening to it because I really wanted to learn and really like it, man. I just couldn't get into I've watched every single Star Wars. I just couldn't get into it. Just couldn't get into it. I don't know, J-Rod, have you seen a single episode of Mandalorian? I would suggest you do so because I'm the farthest you would get from a Star Wars fan. The only reason I buy some of these figures is because they look cool as hell. Like Darth Maul was cool. Boba, the design was cool, but never really got attached to them. But man, so I got a dilemma because so I wanted that Beskar version of Mandalorian, and no question I'm gonna get that. So the practical side of me saying, no doubt that is the Mandalorian to have, the one with the Baby Yoda. But I kind of want one like right now, so I guess I'm gonna get that the brown version where I don't know what I'm glad they made that, but literally the guys wore that for like 2 episodes, maybe 1.5 at most. But yeah, so a few takeaways on the Mandalorian. So after watching it, so it took me 2 days to finish season 1. It wasn't that long, so it's like 30 minutes each or maybe 40 minutes at most. So for those who are watching here, it's like, and if you are scared that I'm going to talk about is Star Wars, you're wrong, because I can't talk about Star Wars for more than 15 minutes because I'm an idiot and I don't know anything what I'm talking about outside of Mandalorian. So it's not going to happen. However, dude, Mandalorian just messed up my pre-order lineup. I have no intentions of. Maybe I was thinking of getting one Mandalorian because it just looks cool, but now I love the character. And after watching the show, and I watched season 2, I'm up to date, man. I just watched episode 2 of season 2 today too. After watching the show, I'm with Danny. I'm not super into the child or Baby Yoda. Okay, so Danny is asking if it's Lando or Grief Karga. Danny, how do I kick you out of this one? Because I don't know how to work this one out yet. But okay, Negan says you haven't missed any of the Mando figures. Dreamonics, maybe we'll get a cyborg figure if they do a Venomized version. Hey, Dreamonics, I think we'll get a cyborg figure if the Snyder cut is pretty good. Austin, why are we having Star Wars overload from Hot Toys? Austin, there's no Marvel. That's why they got to produce something. I guess if the Star Wars Disney Plus shows comes out, maybe we'll get some. But at the same time, even if they do, would you really buy another Scarlet Witch? No, I'm gonna kick Danny. Just remind me later, Danny. Ninja says I prefer the first Mando Hot Toys release, more individual look, Beskar like Regiment. I agree, Ninja. I don't understand. They should have kept him in that armor because the armor looks good. It's brown. It blends well with the environment. With there are times where Mando is like walking in the dark and his Beskar is just shining. He looks like that. What is that? what is that character, like the shiny stormtrooper? She was supposed to be from Game of Thrones, whatever her name is. Rex, no, not Rex, whatever her name is. But yeah, man, yeah, I wish they would have stayed more. I think the first version, like Ninja says, has more character to it. Because now with the Beskar armor, I just feel like he's invincible. Because supposedly not even a lightsaber can get through that armor or something. So I mean, he's already badass, so it's not like he needs more, things in his arsenal. I wish he would have at least worn that armor for 5 episodes. So, but nonetheless, the thing is, I know myself. I'm gonna get that armor. I'm gonna get that anyway. There you go, Ninja Phasma, yeah. Captain Phasma, whatever her name is. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of her when he was like walking in the dark, because all I see is like the shine through it. But I would say for all my brothers out here who are listening, who's scared, it's like, God damn, he's gonna talk about Star Wars now. I'm sorry, but I will at some point, because I watched Mando and I actually liked it. Okay, so I think I'm not going crazy here, because we got a few Star Wars fans here. Oh, Danny says spoilers. God damn, Danny, if you are getting spoilers from a non-Star Wars fan, I'm sorry, it's your fault now. But I would. Here's what I'm gonna get for, and correct me if maybe this is. I don't even think it's excessive. So I am gonna buy Hot Toy Star Wars now. Before it was really selective. I'm gonna get like the villains, but now I'm still not gonna buy a whole lot of Star Wars from Hot Toys. I would get mostly Mando Star Wars from Hot Toys. I'll get that first Mando. Probably get the Beskar Mando. I'm thinking of getting IG-11, and I didn't know I was gonna do this, because initially when it first came out, and I think I even made a video, and I was like, this is dumb. Why do we even have this? The heavy gun, whatever his name is, the big boy Mando. Man, I like him now. He's just like, he's like big and buff, and because I watched the show and he looks like a cool dude. So I was just like, God damn it. All right, I guess I'm gonna cancel Ant-Man. So so I just canceled Ant-Man, because the points that I gathered from Spooktacular, I already have like a plan for it. So I got some credits from Big Bad and I got some points from Spooktacular. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna get Alita, and whenever whatever his name is, Alita and Ant-Man. I was like, whenever Ant-Man goes on sale, like free shipping and $20 off, I'm gonna get it from Sideshow. So that means I only got to pay $120, $140. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna hold off to that. God damn it. Well, I shouldn't have bought like Disney Plus. I bought Disney Plus like 2 weeks ago. Haven't touched it because I was just like, God damn, why am I doing this? Why am I watching Star Wars? I was just like, why? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. Because I told PJ, now I'm gonna watch Mandalorian. I was just like, let's just give it a shot. I watched 2 episodes of them before. I told you guys I was drunk, and we were making fun of our friend who was a Star Wars fan. Kind of like, because when Mandalorian talked, he was a badass. He was in a bar, and I hope I'm not offending anyone here that are Star Wars fan, because he was in the bar, and he said the guy was just like, the guy was blabbering with him, and he talked. And I mean, if you're just new, like your first time hearing him, we'll be like, well, I wasn't expecting that voice. I was expecting more of a deep, intimidating voice, kind of like, I'm Mandalorian or something like that. But it's like weird, kind of like, damn, I was expecting something more badass. And we just made fun of him throughout the night. Mind you, we were drunk. So right off the bat, bad experience. Not bad experience, but we're just making fun of him. And then so I watched it. I told PJ, I was like, man, I'm gonna give it a shot. Gave it a shot. It's like, God damn it. Now logic went out the window. Because logically, I was gonna get the Beskar version regardless. So I was like, it looks cool. Now I'm asking myself, can I wait that long? Because it says expected date April to May 2021. Yeah, it's like 6 months from now. And the logical version is wait for that. because once that comes out, I kid you guys not, anyone who has Mandalorian here, he looks cool. He's cool as hell. You're not gonna, maybe you're just not gonna touch him ever, because that one has all you need, like the Baby Yoda and so forth. But yeah, I'm not gonna wait that long. I am not gonna wait that long. Let me, let me go back here. J Rod says Star Wars is cool, but 80% of Hot Toys YouTubers are heavy Star Wars content. That's why I love your channel. Hey, don't worry, J Rod. I ain't gonna go Star Wars exclusively, man. I mean, if anything, I'll talk about maybe Mandalorian, because it is cool. It is cool. I'm gonna go back up there too. Thigh guy says, I don't know, those spiders messed up in the second episode. Oh man, I think this is Danny was talking about spoilers. Okay. Ninja's proud of me. Says PJ will be pleased. Heavy Mando. J-Rod says Star Wars is cool. Yep. Get the one quarter deluxe Mando and call it a day. Yeah, it's too much for me, Mario. Ninja says this is the way. Yeah, man. Before I didn't even know why people keep on saying this is the way, and it's funny because my buddy Mario just texted me when I put the Facebook. Yeah, I put it not Facebook on YouTube. I put in my status. I was watching Mando, and it was like, God damn, I don't want to hear you say this is the way. And of course I said that. So they kept on saying it, by the way. Danny says canceled Ant-Man. Mario says I'll send you my Ant-Man. I don't know, man, because I had some credits and I was just like, I'm gonna get the Ant-Man. So I don't have any Ant-Man, so might as well get one. Danny says after Mando season 1 ended, I never opened the Disney Plus app until now. I get you, Danny. I mean, I browsed that Disney Plus. There's not much to see there, honestly. So I didn't pay the 1 year. When season 2 ends, I'm probably gonna cancel it and just come back when season 3 comes out. I skipped. BMW says, "Oh snap, Mando really put a wrench on your gears, my dude." Hell yeah, man. Dude, I tell you what, even if J-Rod, I'm guessing you're not a big Mando fan or Star Wars fan in general. Hey, neither am I. I make a fool out of myself every time I talk about Star Wars. And watching that, the first episode was good, because if the first episode was bad, I wouldn't go season 2. I mean, episode 2 or 3. But the way the story evolved, I suppose, it's not. I would tell you guys, for those who are not Star Wars fan, it's not, at least for me, not the typical Star Wars that you don't like. There's a lot of things I don't like about Star Wars. I didn't find them yet on Mandalorian. Maybe that's why it kind of grew on me. And I would say give it a shot too. Jonathan says I was going to spend my sideshow reward points on ESB Boba and Vader, and then Midas drop. You know what? That's probably not a bad idea, Jonathan, because I think you're gonna get these, like the Vader and Boba, in a different form anyway. Midas, they already got the diecast one, so this might be your only shot, man. Danny says just don't buy the child stuff. No, I don't know why people are crazy about the child. Honestly, the child doesn't do anything for me. I mean, he's cute, but I'm not gonna have a like a child T-shirt all of a sudden, or child, memorabilia. No, if anything, I might buy the Hasbro one, the one that's animatronic, because I think my kids are gonna have fun with it. But for me personally, like PJ, man, he's buying the child socks and all that stuff. Speaking of the child, I don't know if you guys saw that, because I've been researching my Mandalorian. All right, so I want to be proficient at this. So I was like looking at the post on 16 Republic, and so one guy said, I forgot who posted it. There was like, oh, he's called it Baby Yoda, and there was the guy who corrected him and was like, it's the child, but you guys are all wrong. And I was like, God damn it. Like, what the heck? And dude, the thread just got longer, just arguing between calling him the child and Baby Yoda. And I don't even blame the guys defending why this person called it Baby Yoda, because it is Baby Yoda. Maybe you call it technically the child, but it's just so weird to call it, to say the child in a conversation. If you meet somebody, hey, you see the child? It's like, which child? Your child? Like, no, Baby Yoda. So, But yeah, man, those are the type of things I was trying to avoid, honestly, from like the super hardcore Star Wars fans. And they're out there. I don't think there's anyone in here that's like that, but there are some hardcore ones out there, man. Um, oh, Danny says, unless you like the little guy, no, man, no. He is the mission. That's why I said it feels like when I watch Mandalorian, it feels like Lord of the Rings. Because in the Lord of the Rings, you just got to bring the ring back to Mordor, or whatever the mountain is. You got to bring back Yoda to where he came from. And he's like John Wick. He's just, in a bar getting into a fight. All he needs was a pencil, really. And yeah. Ninja says Mando podcast you and PJ already mentioned might be along Game of Thrones length years. Ninja, if it's only Mando, I can probably catch up. But once they, they branch out to, like the Easter eggs and all this, obviously I won't know the Easter eggs because even though I've seen the movies, I didn't pay attention. Danny says, only reason there is no Marvel content because there hasn't been anything since Endgame. Once Marvel shows and movies are released, Marvel content will be flooded on YouTube. True. Yeah, Endgame really put an end to Marvel because that's kind of like the period of Marvel. I mean, we had a good Marvel run, but what are they really going to release? Like Hot Toys. Who are they going to release outside of the one that's already been done in Endgame? There really isn't. And I was saying this before. Even if they release the Wanda in Vision and the what's his name, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't think it can stand on its own the same way as Avengers before. I don't think they would get the hype back in. I really don't think so. I don't think those characters are not as strong as the core four of Marvel. I mean, we'll see, but I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. Ninja says, watch Clone Wars if you dig animation 7 series of good action stories ties with prequel films. You know what, Ninja? I got caught up with Mandalorian, right? So I was thinking about it. I was just like, oh man, they've been saying a lot of good things about this Clone Wars, but I'm gonna take it one step at a time. Like baby steps. I don't think my heart can handle. I mean, I already dove into Star Wars, but I'll get there. Maybe I'll get there one of these days. I'll have the courage to press that button and watch that Clone Wars. Maybe. Mari says that's a big ass ninja. Let him chill with Mando for a bit. Jared, I actually enjoyed Mando season 1 and watched first episode of season 2 so far. It's awesome, but I don't want to go down the Star Wars rabbit hole. J-Rod, I don't know, man, if you are a hardcore Star Wars fan, because I am not. I like watching them. I know the characters. The good thing and bad thing about Star Wars fan base is they're super passionate, which is amazing. That's also like a negative because the moment you mess up on something, they will crucify you. And that's one thing that kind of pushed me away from Star Wars. But I don't care right now on Mandalorian because it's fun, they're still kind of like Star Wars. Like, so I was listening to I think Rogue One 6th or PJ the other day, and we're gonna have spoilers. I believe there's a Tusken Raiders, and all of a sudden, like PJ is looking for a Tusken Raider, and I saw the episode. I mean, they were cool. I don't know if I'm gonna look for a Tusken Raider after that, but they're passionate. That's where I'm trying to get to here. Like Star Wars fans are passionate base fans that are intense. Danny says, me too. I like the child on screen, and that's about it. I know, man. I never really saw the fascination for the child after watching the entire episodes. Like it never gave me like watching Mando. I was like, after the first episode, I was like, man, I gotta have that on a Hot Toys format. I can imagine the pictures that I can create with that, or the video, like the green screen that I would do. I'll actually bring that guy in our forest preserve and take pictures of it. I was like, it's amazing. Never felt about that Baby Yoda. So yeah, I mean, unless magically somebody gives me a Baby Yoda or something, I'll get it, but I won't go out of my way to buy it. Let's just put it this way. Dreamonics Mando is visually stunning, but the dialogue's a bit cringe at times. Dreamonics, that's just not Mando. That's Star Wars. Negan, I feel the same way about the child. Yeah, Yeah, it's okay. Juan Pedro says, in the Lord of the Ring collection from Asmus Toys. Um, yeah, I don't know what you mean, but yeah, I'm still collecting those. I love Lord of the Rings. Always gonna be there. That's my nerdy obsession right there. But they're not that good though. Asmus, I don't know if you saw their Faramir. It's okay. It's okay. I'll I won't get the Faramir, but I'll get the but I will get the Aragorn just because I have to. And Danny is asking, I wonder if Asmus will pump out characters from the upcoming Amazon Prime series. I want to see that too because Danny, I think 3-0 got the contract for that, and thank God. Yeah. I think they did 3-0. You're right. No, Danny's probably Danny. Are you referring to Asmus? Honestly, everyone's hit or miss outside of Hot Toys. Hot Toys has a very few misses, honestly. Uh, we might disagree on price, but their quality has always been good. Even their paint application, even the worst Hot Toys has good paint application and everything. The price we always don't see eye to eye, but I would say they're head and shoulders above everyone else. If you make me choose, I would say 3-0 would be next to them. And that's a big gap anyway. But yeah, with Asmus, the problem with Asmus nowadays that I don't have with 3-0 yet is that Asmus now is getting closer price wise to Hot Toys. Like their Faramir is like $215. Imagine 215. If I add $30 more, that's the same price as Mandalorian. Man, your Faramir is far from Mandalorian. So I don't know what you're smoking there, Asmus, but shouldn't do that. Danny says the Gandalf has to be a home run if they want to continue. I agree that the Gandalf would be their ticket to be known because that Gandalf looks something that Hot Toys has never done, which is rooted hair and rooted beard. If they do this right with purse, mind you, if they do this right, I think they're going to put their Sims in the map. However, their next release would suck anyway. They're going to release some stupid game like Devil May Cry again or something. I mean, I don't know about these guys, man. But J Rod says, what movie line would you want Hot Toys to dive into? J Rod, I'm a big sports fan, so I would say Rocky. That would be difficult though because of the body. It has to be Fison. Joint bodies nowadays are not gonna fly with the type of collectors that we do have. So it has to be a Fison body, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I would get a Rocky Creed so I can redeem myself for calling him Lando. Danny, I don't want to hear this ever again. Okay, Danny and Mario, if we talk about Lando again, I would kick you guys out in the chat. But just kidding. But yeah, man, I mean, Mr. T, I can see many variations, but the problem is the body, which is Hot Toys. They should do a partnership with Fison. I think Sideshow did with their Wonder Woman. But that would be nice because they can't make seamless body for the life of them. Okay, so let me get this here. Ninja says Termined Glass Giant's Bane from 3-0 looks legit. I know, man. I mean, kudos to 3-0. They're making progress. I don't know if they can maintain this because Rambo was really, really good. And then they come up with like their Game of Thrones, what's his name? Joffrey. And it's like subpar. Although I would say maybe Joffrey is an older, build that they did. It's not the same quality as Rambo, so I would love for them to follow up with Rambo with another one. But they announced something like 3-0 said they're gonna do Marvel Eternals. Is that what it is? Something like that. So I'm interested to see what that is. They're tackling GI Joe, so hopefully they get some steam there. So Thigh Guy, did you see the 3-0 Bumblebee from Transformers the last night? Guess 3-0 is going to start doing other Transformer movies. Yes, I did, Thigh Guy. It looks amazing. I would love to have that too. Although I think it's kind of pushing it already. I'm not like um I know Zach is really excited because he's a big Bumblebee fan. I got the Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, and I feel like that's already enough. But we'll see. I mean, the price is not bad for that Bumblebee. I think it's like 170 or so. There's a lot of Transformers that I want to get from 3.0. Like there's a is it Blitzwing? I forgot his name. Yeah, and then the guy with a cassette player or so. They all look cool and they're diecast. So it's just that matter of priority, man. Uh Mario says grief card. Okay, I'm not even gonna read that. Fuck you, Mario. Uh Erwin says, if this was the old Hot Toys pre-MCU days, I'm sure they will do the Rocky franchise and IPs. I know, man. Hot Toys, the problem with Hot Toys is they forgot their roots. And you know what? Like any business would, they start with now they're going for the home runs, like the easy money, like the Star Wars, DC, Marvel. Business standpoint, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. I understand that on a business standpoint, but I just wished every once in a while, like Erwin is saying, they would throw us a bone. The one who's not. I mean, I love DC, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see every just DC characters. I was so happy when 3.0 did Rambo. I want some variations, man. Like right now, I love Mandalorian. Love it. Love the show. Gonna continue watching it. I'm gonna pre-order like 4 figures from that line. But I'm not gonna buy every single one of that. I like I said, like if they released like Rocky, get that. If they released as basic as it is, Jason Bourne, one of my favorite movies. Jason Bourne is basically a guy in a regular clothing with the Matt Damon head. I'll buy that too. It doesn't need to be Star Wars, Marvel, and DC all the time for me. So JP says Asmus continues to disappoint us with head sculpt. I agree, JP. Man, that is that. I think it's Austin. He's probably out now because I talked about Star Wars. But Austin mentioned last week that Faramir looks like Triple H, and he's spot on, man. The guy looks like Triple H. A problem with Asmus is I would love for them to be there. I really did. Oh man, Brian Tidwell, new member. Thank you, Brian. But for those who doesn't know, man, I put it on a DL. I put it like a membership thing now, and I don't know if you saw. There's like Teespring in there. But yeah, that is just one way for me to buy Mandalorian figures because I'm probably gonna be broke. But yeah, I put in like I'm not gonna do Patreon or anything. I didn't even make a big deal out of it, but appreciate that, Brian. You're probably gonna have access to the other videos. I have like 10 videos waiting there for me to upload now. But I need Mandalorian, guys. I need a coupon. But yeah, JP, as like I said, man, I wish they would have continued on with the success of Gimli. Elrond was not bad. It also wasn't Hot Toys quality. So man, Danny and Mario just won't stop doing this, man. God damn, Mario says whoops. Busted my balls here. Dustin says, since Matt Reeves, the Batman has been pushed back, I wonder how far it delays Hot Toys releasing figures. Dustin, I think that's why we're seeing a surplus of Star Wars, is because there's really no content out there. There's no movies. So the only thing that we have is Mandalorian, old Star Wars. They even dove into Flash, the TV show. I wouldn't be surprised if they do an Arrow. They should do an Arrow. Although I think there's a third-party company doing an Arrow. I think Brian commented on that too. I think So Toys is doing an Arrow. It's for a good price too. It's 160. I want to get that. I mean, for 160, that's not bad at all. Again, thanks, Brian. J-Rod says, give me a Jack Bauer from Hot Toys. 24 instant pre-order. Man, Jack Bauer. Didn't Enterbay did Jack Bauer, but that was it's towards their infancy, so I don't think it's that good back then. But man, Jack Bauer would be awesome. I'll be up for that. See, those are the examples that it's not DC, Marvel, Hot Toys. They're not in a comic book suit, but I would still get them because it's pretty good. Jack Bauer will be legendary. Erwin says, "Yep." At the end of the day, dollar talks for Hot Toys. Love Hot Toys. Platoon figures from way back. Yeah, Erwin. There's another Hot Toys that I didn't get. You're right. Is it Platoon with No, no, no. It's Arnold. I forgot the name of the movie, but that was pretty good too. But I didn't buy it back then, so kind of regretting that. Dream Onyx says So Toys have done Arrow and Titans Robin and Nightwing. Yeah, but there's another Arrow that was announced. Let me see. I forgot the name. Maybe it's So Toys, Dream Onyx. Maybe you're right, but I know it's still on pre-order. Um, Danny says he got the Medicom Jack Bauer. I know they Enterbay did him to see that. Okay, so Brian says that So Toy Arrow is locked as good as on the shelf. I agree, man. Like, when is it coming out? All right, let's see. I know it's on 1/6 corner. The head sculpt, the mask one looks great. The unmasked one, it's okay. It's not bad. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Honestly, it's not horrible. Pre-orders, but knowing So Toys, I think it's gonna come out legit. I mean, for 150, even if Hot Toys released their version of Arrow. Oh, okay, here you go. Is it So Toys? Yeah, it is. His name is Green Vigilante. Hey man, let's see this. What if I share my screen that I'm already on? Okay. All right, there you go, Erwin. Commando. That's what I'm talking about. You're right, Erwin. Commando. Yeah, I mean, Green Vigilante, remove $16.99. Let's see how much it is for. So full price is $156.99. It's less than 160. I mean, I think this is a must-have. Because even if Hot Toys release this would be an easy 250. I mean, 2 head sculpts. So you're already saving at least $100. Because if you buy it at 1/6 corner, they offer free shipping and there's no tax. So 156 is 156. That's an odd price though for 156. Why not just make it 155? Okay, all right. So the head sculpt is, not bad. I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna get this for sure. Yeah, initially I think when they announced it, because I was kind of like, cause they did Flash, but thinking about it now, like Hot Toys, I don't think they're gonna release this at all. Oh, and Mars says, I'm dying for a Godfather line. Man, me too. I bought this from 1/6 corner as well because I love Godfather, but I'm not gonna overpay for that Vito Corleone in the aftermarket. So they released this Pleasant Toys, which I'm okay with because it's 175. I don't care if it looks like crap, in hand, but I've seen some YouTube videos and it's not too bad. I would settle for this, but man, I never got it in the mail. So, they refunded me my money back, but I think this is a good deal. I mean, you got the chair, the cat for 175 in Vito. Like I said, I've seen some reviews on YouTube, and it's decent. It's decent. So you gotta you gotta know what you're paying for. It's 175, so I'm not expecting Hot Toys quality. If it's somewhat decent, I'm okay with it. And not only that, Mario. I mean, we're both. It looks like Godfather fans out here, and they got Michael as well. And Michael is only 150, I think, 155. So even cheaper than Vito. And he comes with a couch, with a sofa. Look at that. He comes with, I mean, it's decent. Even if it's like the hands, I mean, it's Pleasant Toys. I'm pretty sure you got some spare Hot Toys hands out there. Sculpt's a bit rough, like the paint application is. But I know Zach had a Pleasant Toys. I believe it's from Django, and he swears by it. So, and I trust Zach. And I gotta get this. All right, says, yep, John Matrix Hot Toys. That looks good too. Dream Onyx says, So also announced Black Suit Daredevil last week too. Nightwing looks on point. Yep, that Black Suit Daredevil. I might get that. I like Daredevil. That's one of those shows that I do like as well. Third Party Police. I gotta get one of those. So J Rod says Sideshow says ETA for Mando Deluxe is January to March. Guessing it's getting released early. Oh, is it? Oh, J Rod, man, you might have something here. So if it's January to March, I might just wait for that though. I might just do. Brian says Stargate SG1 Hot Toys would be beyond words, totally a fantasy. Yeah, I don't know about that, Brian. I don't know if they're gonna maybe. Hey, you never know. They're running out of content right now because of the pandemic. So and plus, I think there's a huge audience for Stargate though. So Danny says where's Fredo? Danny, he's in the river. I don't think he's gonna be made ever. That's like just hey, you never know. Present Toys might make one. Although I would um what's the oldest guy's name? The oldest son. I might get him. I wouldn't get Fredo even if they make him. Even if Pleasant Toys make him. I forgot the name. The eldest, the one where he got shot, and it's so 1970s, where they can shoot him with an M60 and he's still standing up. Sonny, there you go, Sonny. Yep, Sonny. I might get Sonny. Man, when I was watching that, I didn't know who the actors were because they were so young back then. But when we looked at the credits, I was like, God damn, Sonny is the guy from Elf, like the dad. It's like Jesus. Erwin says never tried Enter Bay 1/6 NBA figures, but when they dropped Rodman and Scottie Pippen back to go with MJ, it made me consider. Would love to hear your thoughts on Enter Bay NBA. Oh man, Erwin, I don't know if you can see from behind me. I got every Enter Bay that you can ask for. So I'm the right person to ask. It's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I just bought the 1/9 Enter Bay because they're gonna re-release that Enter Bay line, the 1/9 Jordan at least. It's beautiful, man. It didn't lose a beat. I got that on. I'm gonna review that, but so far Brian is the only one who can see that. He's the only member. But yeah, I'm gonna review those. Check my channel, man. Like every Enter Bay figures that you can look for is in there. But it's they're good. Like honestly, if they don't make just if they don't make just NBA, they would be second to Hot Toys, if not, head to head with Hot Toys. They're that good. Like their head sculpt is good. I know they made some other 1/6, but they kind of focus on the Asian market, which is a bad idea. I'm Asian. And that was a bad idea because you got to be more international to expand your business. And I think they could have gotten that. But yeah, unfortunately, I think they're going down. All their releases are re-releases. Like they're gonna re-release the 1/6 hoop, the 1/9 Jordan. I mean, that's a bad business model. They should have focused more on the current NBA players, in my opinion, but I don't know. Maybe they don't have the license. Oh, Danny says they need Luca Brasi. There you go, Dan. He came out just for like a few seconds though, for a few minutes. He's like Luca is kind of like the Boba Fett of Star Wars. He came out, he's a fan favorite, and then he died. People are gonna crucify me again. They're gonna say Boba's not dead. On the movie, he died. Okay, so that's all I know. I know he's alive. We saw him in the end of season 1, yeah, or opening of season 2. I mean, hey, what's going on, Lou? Erwin says, "Yep, I know you're the right one to ask for NBA content." Erwin, they have. So here's what I would say for 1/6. I made a comparison as well. 1/6 mostly. If you go 1/6 NBA Enter Bay, that's mostly legends. If you want to go current, they'll go 1/9 because that's where you're gonna find James Harden and Russell Westbrook and all that stuff. But yeah, Danny says you got Klay Thompson. I don't think they made Klay Thompson, man. Although I would love to have Klay Thompson. I did get their Steph Curry 1/9 and 1/6. Man, I can't wait for the Warriors next year. They are gonna be loaded. They got the number 2 pick. If they can flip that number 2 pick and let's say Andrew Wiggins for a legit star, not even a legit star, they need a wing, in my opinion. Somebody with a 3 and D. At first I thought it was like Bradley would be a good fit, but they need somebody who's 6'9" who can guard LeBron James. That's hard to do. It's hard to find somebody like that, but that's what they need. If they can package the number 2 pick in that, I'm sure I can find somebody in my, on the top of my head. I just can't think of somebody right now that will be worth the number 2 pick and Wiggins. Danny says he's the enforcer. I know, man. He's huge. Yeah, he died right away though. JP says, "Where is your video from your entire collection?" JP, I think I just posted one more recently. Maybe like if you go back like a month ago or so. That is the updated one where my X-Men collections are growing, which would stop right now. I was thinking of getting the Magneto from X-Men 3 and Professor X. But I'm telling you, man, fucking Mando just ruined my collection right now because I had no plans on getting them on display, but now I got to create a shelf for them. Danny says we need KD back. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I think Danny, I think the breakup was kind of sour with KD. I don't know if that's because of Draymond. I have a good feeling about Golden State though. Man, they picked the right time to tank because it is a pandemic anyway, and nothing against what LeBron accomplished. I would say this to anyone who won the championship. They would say that they will put an asterisk next to it because home court advantage was basically pointless. The seeding was pointless this year. They were all playing in the bubble, so there was no home court advantage. There was no benefit of being the number 1 seed, like like the Milwaukee Bucks. There was none. But I don't know if they're gonna do the bubble again this year on the upcoming season. They shouldn't because NFL is doing it without the bubble and it works. It doesn't work all the time because some facilities are being closed. But I would say maybe next year, I don't know if they're waiting for the election to be over or whatever. Once they get the vaccine, maybe we can go back to normal. Or even if with no vaccine, just play in each other home courts and fill it with fans, but not entire capacity with social distancing. I don't know if it's going to work because I know some NFL teams are doing it now. So I don't know. Speaking of NFL, man, my Bears are sucking right now. 2 in a row. It's about to get 3 in a row. We're going to play the Titans this Sunday, and we are going to lose because Derrick Henry would stiff arm the entire team. BMW is the Warriors and Splash Brother playoffs 2021 season starts in December. Yeah, man, I can't wait. December 22nd, I think, is the what they talked about, and I can't. I love sports, man. I can't wait for the fans to be back on the stands. It's different. It is different. I mean, I still love watching it. Don't get me wrong, but the energy is, you can't replicate that. The fans in the stands and even the NFL. I mean, I love it. I wish the Bears would get in to the playoffs at least, but Packers are way too good. I don't know. We're going to be back to normal, but like we were talking about earlier, Warriors are going to be dangerous. I think they are. I think they're going to be, if I'm not mistaken, on the West, they're going to be the thorn in the side of the Lakers, not the Clippers. The Clippers need to do some soul searching to overcome this because I think there's too much politics in the Clippers locker room. They're full of talent, but man, I don't know. Plus, I would say this: the Lakers made the big man irrelevant again. So if you are planning to play the Lakers now, you got to prepare for if they're going to retain Dwight Howard. That's a big if. And McGee, if you're in the West, you gotta have big guys now. Back then when the Warriors were running the show, you can get away with a cent. That's why centers are non-relevant now. Like the guys like Andre Drummond, it's not gonna get paid because they want mobile centers. But now, like Draymond Green got away with playing the 5. I don't think you can do that with Anthony Davis. So if you are drafting right now, or forming your team and you're in the West, you got to prepare for the Lakers big guys. And not only that, Jokic is also a handful down low. So if you are, if you're any other team, you can't just get away with putting your small forward in the number 5. If they do that now, like the Warriors small ball, and they face Jokic, the Jokic now, or Lakers with Anthony Davis, they're toast. You know what? I take that back. Draymond might actually guard Anthony Davis a little bit though. I don't know. Anthony Davis is way too good though. Irwin says, any plans on getting the Jazz Inc. Batmobile? Absolutely not. Too expensive and too big. JP, I'm going to see the video of your collection. Missed it. No, don't be sorry, man. Just I think I did two. One I released it in April, and one I released just recently. Because there's a lot of changes in my collection, mostly third party. I wasn't buying third party before, up until I bought that SW Toys Joker. Then I got into third party. Kind of like now, I wasn't buying Star Wars thing before, up until I watched Mandalorian. Now I'm gonna start buying just Mandalorian though. I can't go back and do the OT. I wasn't too invested. You know what? I might put it on, that you can message me or anything on suggestion. Like, I want to know more on the background, like Mandalorian now is going to be my main thing when it comes to Star Wars. And I don't mind backtracking, even watching the Clone Wars, if it pertains to Mandalorian. I'm not going to go out of my way if it doesn't pertain to them. Kind of like with the end of the season 1 episode from season 2, the episode 1 on season 2. Is that Boba? Because isn't that the guy that is Boba's dad? And is he playing Boba now because he's older? Like, we're assuming that he's Boba because that's why he looks like his dad. Forgot his name, but yeah, I'm guessing that's him. Erwin says, what do you think the next Hot Toys Iron Man after Midas? Oh God, I hope it's Mark 1. I hope it's Mark 1 diecast, man. I was hoping that they would release Mark 1 diecast as a 20th anniversary, because everyone's like just waiting for it. Everyone just wanted that Mark 1. But it hasn't been released. Will it ever get released? I think so. But it's taking a while, man. It's taking a while. I don't know. I hope it is, but oh damn, Erwin was right. It's Aquaman's dad. You're right. I didn't notice it at first. It is Aquaman's dad. Okay, so Danny says Boba is a clone of his dad, Django. Okay, so he's not really a child. He's a clone of Django. So it would make sense that they are the same person then. I mean, the same actor who plays it. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, if that is the case, this is Django can't get a hard on. That's why he need to clone someone. He can't have his own kid or something like that. Back in Star Wars, they know. Does they have any other kids? I got so many questions in my head, man. And I was like researching the other day because I was typing it. Why does I'm guessing they're not Mandalorian because they take off their helmets a lot. And I was like researching on YouTube. Apparently, I gotta talk to you guys. Outside of the show. Maybe I do a members only chat for Star Wars, because I know not all people are gonna be interested in it, but I am interested in like the backstory of like Boba and all that stuff. I'm like watching YouTube videos, but they're conflicting, man. They're confusing. JV, now the Spider-Man is the new Iron Man of Hot Toys. Yes, JP. The Spider-Man video game in particular. They gotta have a cash cow of some sort. So their cash cow right now is Star Wars in general. But we're talking about just a single individual character. Yes, Spider-Man would be the new Iron Man. Erwin says unaltered clone. Okay. Lou says your thoughts on Iron Man Midas. Yeah, Lou, maybe you missed it on the first half. We're talking about that. It is I like it. Am I gonna buy it? Maybe. That's a maybe. We'll see. Danny says only difference for Boba with the rest of the clones, Boba did not have a spread of life. Last Masanori, what's going on, man? I remember that one reason that pissed off OT fans. Boba is just a clone, like a clone trooper. Oh, he is. Okay, Danny says Django was primed for the clones. They based it off his genes. Oh, kind of like Metal Gear. I got you. I got you, Star Wars. Metal Gear was released in 96, guys. I don't know when Clone Wars was released, but no, Metal Gear was released, I think it started in 80s. Django is the host for the entire clone army. Okay. I got a question though, man. And I know Danny is a huge I don't know about you, Mario, but I know Danny was a huge trooper fan. He collects troopers. Why? So, I know they got good designs, man. They got good designs, but um so I was watching Mandalorian when they got pinned. There's like a gazillion stormtroopers, and then there was death troopers. I thought the death troopers are going to be better. At least hit someone. You don't even need to kill them. Just like scrape them off. Hit them on the leg or something. I get it, man. What is the difference between death trooper and stormtrooper if they can't both hit? I mean, there's like a gazillion of them, and then not only that, so they were pinned inside a house, and Gus Fring, whatever his name is from Star Wars, call him Gus from Breaking Bad. He was out and he was just like, all right, burn them alive. So they made this grand entrance for this incinerator trooper. I already know what's going to happen. He's going to fuck it up. He did. This grand entrance, he was like, putting his flamethrower up in the air, went inside, started blasting the house. I think he just got killed by a falling debris or something. And he got a grand entrance too. Like the music changed. He got like a slow motion entrance. There's like smoke everywhere. This goddamn troopers, man. I don't know where they train, but they get to reassess their training. The only guy they killed was Quill. I believe that's his name. But then again, killing Quill is like nothing because I don't even think he has a weapon on him. And he's like a short dude that doesn't even fight. Okay, so Mario says all the clones had growth acceleration. Boba was unaltered with no growth acceleration. Okay, does that mean like they like growing? Okay. Irwin says Hot Toys will be cranking out clones based on the Clone Wars fiasco. I wish they would do more original trilogy. I think they would go that route, Irwin. They would go that route. That's the one that sells. Danny says I just like the bad guys. Last Sonora says, even the Sith Trooper, what made them different? They wore red. I know, man. Like, if somebody is different, you would think that they have a different rank, right? Which they do. But you would think they would be better. Like the Death Trooper. I was like, oh, man, they're called Death Troopers. I mean, is this just random what you're going to wear that day? Like, I'm just talking like in the actual Imperial, whatever. Like, hey, man, you want to do Death Trooper today? Cool. Here you go. Or they spin a wheel because they're all not intimidating. Like, like in terms of a video game, in terms of like video game, they kind of like like you got a boss fight, like you got the grunts, the foot soldiers or whatever, and like the boss fight would be the incinerator trooper, and then I think he died because of some falling debris, which kind of sucks, but. Danny says, I always like the look of the Imperial Army for Star Wars, and the same with G.I. Joe. I always like the look of Cobra Army. I respect that, Danny. Man, I'm just I they look cool, especially if you get like if you're army building with the troopers, they look cool. But and then at the end of the day, they're like business, they gotta create different looks. But boy, give them a moment, for crying out loud. Just give them one moment that they will look badass. Danny says, what? They killed. Is that his name, Q? I don't know what the name is, Danny. Like the guy who's trying to escape with a baby. I thought they killed him, right? Like they put like stones with his like goggles and whatever. Ern says the guy from the first chapter of Mando, the doctor, has a Camino insignia. They plan to clone the child. See, this is the things that I wouldn't know, man. I just watch it and I see a baby Yoda in there. So, I mean, I would say that's the good thing about Mandalorian too. I know there's a few guys in here that just sick of like listening to Star Wars, that they tune into me, and I would say this to you guys, like if they are what do you call this? You don't need to watch any Star Wars to pick up on Mandalorian, though. That's the good thing about this. You can just watch Mandalorian and just go on with it. And the good news is, after season 2, you gotta wait one more year. So, or maybe at least one more year. I don't know. Oh, Mario, I saw Rogue One. It's okay. It's all right. I just thought the movie was unnecessary, but it's still cool. You know, I think that's the best Disney movie that they produced. Honestly, maybe that, and then after that, the episode 7, and then I would say Solo, and then the other 2 movies after that. But yeah, like Rogue One. You know what? The Death Trooper and Rogue One might be a little better. Now that you mentioned that, at least I didn't they killed someone at least. And I'm not even asking for these troopers to kill anyone, because these are heroes in the movie. Just at least wound them or something. Just, if not for Gus Fring, Mandalorian would get out of there, unscratched. So, oh, Erwin says your 5 most recommended Hot Toys figure. Oh man, like ever? That's loaded, man. All the DX 15, 13, 11, 12. And I rounded off with maybe not a DX, but Christopher Reeve Superman. JP, do you like games like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro? I played all of them, never finished one, but I do like them. Yes, they're just too hard for me. Those games are freaking soul crushing. For the most part, JP, I would love to enjoy my games and not throw my controller on the wall. If you asked me this question like 10 years ago, I would say I'll platinum all of them, because I got the patience back then to do this. Now only my cousin does this. He platinum all these games that you just mentioned. Master, ever since Last Jedi, I lost interest in. I don't blame you, man. Well, it didn't. It says collecting Star Wars stuffs. Jack says, you seen Clone Wars? No, man. I'm still soaking in this Mandalorian. One day I will do that. TFA Chewy. There you go. Thai Guy, do you at least beat Ghost of Tsushima? I don't have that game, Thai Guy. I don't. I'm waiting for Black Friday, man, to pick it up. But I saw like the preview from the ads. It's still like $39.99. I was saying, man, my backlog is way too much that I don't need to rush in and buy any games. So I bought these games that I haven't finished, right? And they might be not too good of a game to you, but like the Avengers, I bought it. I still haven't finished it. The one with a baby, not Baby Yoda. Last Stranding or something like that, or Stranding with the guy from Walking Dead. Bought that, never played a single minute out of it, and I bought the collector's edition with a baby on it. God damn, that was a stupid move. Red Dead Redemption, still have it sealed. Even just those 3 games is like enough for me to not buy any games for the next year. I think on how long I don't play that game often anymore. So Lou says, your thoughts on the Sideshow Child? Man, I think it looks good. I won't buy it. I'm not that invested in the Child, but it looks good. If you ask me which one I'm going to buy, I said, if somebody gives me 400, it's like, hey, choose between here and Hot Toys, I would probably pick up Sideshow. But if they don't say that, I'll just use 400 to buy something else. PS5. James says, from software games, yep, it's too hard, man. Any plans on Life Size the Child? Nope, not at all. I heard a lot of good things about Ghost of Tsushima. Daddy's not sashimi, man. It's sashimi. So you're thinking about food all the time, man. Tsushima, I think. So I'm gonna correct you on this one because it's not Star Wars related. Mara says top 5: Chewie, Ant-Man, Electro, older Terminator shootout, and the director George Lucas. Is there a director George Lucas? Man, I know we talked about like the worst Hot Toys back then, but I didn't know there was a George Lucas. Hey man, Leave my Electro alone. Electro looks good, bro. Just like, maybe the movie wasn't too good for some guys. I actually enjoyed it, honestly. I wouldn't mind Andrew Garfield being Spider-Man again. Um, but Electro, I don't think it's a bad figure. I mean, the head lights up, the hands lights up. You know, I think it's still pretty good. Chewie's not that horrible as well. Ant-Man outside of the sculpt is bad. Yeah, old Terminator looks like a hamburger. That is bad. Okay, but this is my bad. Ghost of Sashimi. I mean, I gotta take a screenshot of this because you guys give me shit all the time with my Star Wars thing. So, Ghost of Sashimi. I mean, food doesn't have a ghost, Danny. Yeah, it says, "Oh yeah, so have you phased out all your older MCU hot toys for the Infinity War Endgame lineup?" Pretty much, Danny. I have, man. All I have now is just Endgame, Infinity War. I'm gonna keep it that way. Whatever happens, I think Infinity War Endgame would stand the test of time, even if 20 years from now. So I'm gonna keep them. I'll keep those in my collection. Erwin, did you see 1/6 Storm Collectibles Tyson and Ali? I don't have Ali. I got the Tyson. Yeah, I got both the undisputed champ and the Olympic champ Ali. I mean Tyson. Honestly, they're okay. They're not the best figures that I do have, but that's the only Tyson that I do have. So, Thai, if you're gonna get Ant-Man, get the first Ant-Man hot toys. I have that Thai. I sold it. Best head sculpt and outfit is more techie than newer outfits. I did get that. I have the first Ant-Man. Sold it. I didn't like it for the fact that it can barely move. So I sold it. This is back like years before this Ant-Man was released. I was preparing it because that's how I do things. I just sell, like Danny says, I'm gonna phase out all older figures in terms of the new one. So I did that. And I was wrong. I don't think I was wrong though. The only thing that's bad on this Ant-Man is the head sculpt, really. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good sculpt. Masonori says the real champ is Rocky Balboa. Hell yeah, man. They do a Rocky in Hot Toys, or not even Hot Toys, third party. I'd settle for a third party at this point, as long as the head sculpt is good. But right now my sights are set to get this Mandalorian figure. I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna regret picking up this season 1 Mandalorian when the season 2 comes out. I just need one right now. So if you guys have any coupon on Sideshow, I'll do it. If not, I'll hold on, and maybe by the time I get it, the best car version will be out. Worst hot toy figure damage you experience? Ooh, that's a good question, Erwin. I would say, it's irritating me up to this point. I would say the Vader one, my New Hope Vader. I ripped the belt. It was such a bad design. Man, I want to curse on my channel so bad. I just got flagged last time. I got flagged, so can't do it anymore. When I go to maybe one of these days, when I go to After Dark, I'll do that. Mars says, didn't Hot Toys do Rocky? They did, yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, man. Way back when Rock, it doesn't even look like Stallone, but they did. They sure did. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out now. Well, thank you for joining me in this live chat. But I'm gonna get that Mando if you guys are asking. I do love that Mandalorian figure. I'm in. You're gonna see some reviews now. You're gonna see some reviews of Mandalorian. Most likely IG-11 because he broke my heart. He broke my heart. That I already know the difference between Lando and whatever his name is, Geef. Why is their name really hard to pronounce though? Why can't they name it John, or Jack? Geef Karga or whatever his name is. But yeah, learned a lot from this past 2 days. But thank you guys. I'm gonna get that Mando and just watch out. I'm all in. All right, good night, guys.